Hi everyone, my name is Linda and today I'm gonna read Little House in a Big Wood, Chapter 4, Christmas, Day 5, 6, and 7. They played so hard all day, but when night came, they were too excited to sleep. But they must sleep, or Santa Claus would not come. So they hung the stockings by the fireplace and said their prayers and went to bed. Alice and Ella and Mary and Laura all in one big bed on the floor. Peter had the turned bed. Aunt Eliza and Uncle Peter were going to sleep in the big bed, and another bed was made on the attic floor for Pa and Ma. The buffalo robes and all the blankets had been brought in from Uncle Peter's sled, so there were enough covers for everybody. Pa and Ma and Aunt Eliza and Uncle Peter sat by the fire talking, and just as Laura was drifting off to sleep, she heard Uncle Peter say, Eliza had a narrow squeak the other day when I was away at Lake City. You know Prince, the big dog of mine? Laura was wide awake at once. She always liked to hear about dogs. She lay still as a mouse and looked at the firelight flickering on the log walls and listened to Uncle Peter. Well, Uncle Peter said, early in the morning Eliza started to the spring to get a pail of water, and the prince was following her. She got to the edge of the ribbon where the path goes down to the spring, and all of a sudden Prince set his teeth in the back of her skirt and pulled. You know what a big dog he is. Eliza scolded him, but he wouldn't let go, and he's so big and strong she couldn't get away from him. He kept backing and pulling till he tore a piece out of her skirt. It was my blueprint, Aunt Eliza said to Mom. Dear me, Ma said. He tore a big piece right at the back of it. Aunt Eliza said. I was so mad I could have whipped him for it, but he growled at me. Prince growled at you? I said. Yes, said Aunt Eliza. So then she started on again toward the spring. Uncle Peter went on, but Prince jumped into the path ahead of her and snorted at her. He paid no attention to her talking and scolding. He just kept on showing his teeth and snorting, and when she tried to get past him, he kept in front of her and snapped her. That scared her. I should think it would, Ma said. He was so savage, I thought he was going to bite me, said Aunt Eliza. I believe he would have. I never heard of such a thing, said Mom. What on earth did you do? I turned right around and ran into the house where the children were and slammed the door, Aunt Eliza answered. Of course Prince was savage with strangers, said Uncle Peter, but he was always so kind to Eliza and the children. I felt perfectly safe to leave them with him. Eliza couldn't understand it at all. After she got into the house, and he kept packing, pacing around and groaning. Every time she started open the door, he jumped at her and snarled. Had he gone mad? Said Ma. That's what I thought. Aunt Eliza said, I didn't know what to do. There was I, shutting in the door. with the children and not daring to go out. And we didn't have any water. I couldn't even get any snow to melt. Every time I opened the door so much as a crack, Prince acted like he would tear me into pieces. How long did this go on? I asked. All day till late in the afternoon. Aunt Eliza said. Peter had taken the gun or I would have shot him. Long late in the afternoon. Uncle Peter said. He got quiet and lay down in front of the door. Eliza thought he was asleep. She made up her mind to try to slip past him and get to the spring for some water. So she opened the door very quietly, but of course he woke up right away. When he saw she had the water pail in her hand, he got up and walked ahead of her to the spring, just the same as usual. And there, all around the spring, in the snow, were the fresh tracks of a panther. The tracks were as big as my hand, said Aunt Eliza. Yes, Uncle Peter said. He was a big fellow. His tracks were the biggest I ever saw. He would have got Eliza for sure if Prince had let her go to the spring in the morning. I saw the tracks. He had been lying up in a big oak over the spring, waiting for some animal to come there for water. Undoubtedly, he would have dropped down on her. Night was coming on when she saw the tracks, and she didn't waste any time getting back to the house with a pail of water. Prince followed close behind her, looking back into the raven now and then. I took him into the house with me, Aunt Eliza said, and we all stayed inside till Peter came home. Did you get him? Pa asked Uncle Peter. No, Uncle Peter said. I took my gun and hunted all round the place, but I couldn't find him. I saw some more of his tracks. He'd gone on north, further into the big woods. Alice and Ella and Mary were all wide awake now, and Laura put her head under the covers and whispered to Alice, My, won't you scare? Alice whispered back that she was scared, but Ella was scared, and Ella whispered that she wasn't either. Any such thing. Well, anyway, you made more fuss about being thirsty, Alice whispered. They lay there whispering about it till Ma said, Charles, those children never would get to sleep unless you played with them. The Pa got his fiddle. The room was still and warm and full of firelight. Ma's shadow and Aunt Eliza's and Uncle Peter's were big and quivering on the walls in the flickering firelight, and Pa's fiddle sang merrily to itself. It sang Money Musk and the Rest Heaver, The Devil's Dream, and A Kansas Traveler. And Laura went to sleep while Pa and the fiddle were both softly singing. My darling Nolly-Gray, they have taken you away, and I'll never see my darling anymore. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.